Day one results of World's Strongest Man are in. Some shock results, some results that you'd expect. Let's not waste any time, Lizzie. Let's get straight into it.
Day one of the World's Strongest Man then, and like you said, there's been some, I think, shocking results.
There's been some interesting results, that's for sure. Some, expected results, but there's certain ones that are definitely going to shock people.
So before we go into the details, we should point out that Paro Dwyer withdrew from the competition before it began with an injury, which is terrible for Paro.
Absolutely gutted for Paro.
We knew how much this meant to him when he qualified at Britain's Strongest Man. It meant Andy Black got to step into Group 1 in Par's place, as per your Andy Black t-shirt.
Yeah, with Par stepping out, I thought I'd best give the big man a little bit of support today.
You've literally got a t-shirt for every occasion. But the really great thing about Worlds this year is that every group is doing the same event. So not only can we look at the results of each group, but then we can compare them at the end, which we absolutely will do. So event 1 was the loading medley. 5 implements, horrible in that heat by the looks of it.
5 implements ranging from about 120 to a maximum of 140 kilos. The athletes had to move 8 meters with each implement. So it's not the hugest distance, but back and forth that quickly. In the heat, awkward objects, a draining first event. Group number 1, I don't think anyone would be too surprised to see the reigning world's strongest man, Tom Stoltman, coming in, loading all 5 implements in a superb 38 seconds. Really fast time. Tom Stoltman showing that he's here and means business.
Tom's always been good at loading as well. He's built perfectly for it. Like you said, 2 steps and he's there, isn't he?
He has. I mean, second place was Kevin Fairs, who again is very, very good at this type of event. We expected a big performance from Kevin on this. And Ivor Schmaukstelis coming in third. Those are the 3 big names on paper. No big shocks to me in group number 1 when it came to the loading. Solid performance by the champ. The 2 athletes you would expect to be challenging for the stone off, placing second and third.
Group 1's deadlift ladder then. So this was 5 different deadlifts ranging from 300 to 380 kilos.
Yeah, absolutely. And, again, Tom Stoltman dominating this event. He was the only athlete to get all 5 lifts. His time was 51:46 seconds. So we are going to compare to other groups and see how that measures out later. But in his group, more than secure for first place. Gabriel Rayon was in second place. A little bit of a surprise on this one for me. Gabriel was the fastest athlete to do 4 implements. So really good points for the Canadian there. And Kevin Fairs, nice and consistent. Again, another top 3 finish for him, rounding out the top 3 in the deadlift.
Group 2 then, and I know everyone was interested in this group, us especially, but loading race first. Obviously in this group you've got Brian Shaw, Konstantin Janasha, Bobby Thompson, Mitch Hooper, Mark Felix, Gabe Pena. Have I remembered them all?
You've remembered them all, and this is a group that a lot of people have been talking about online. Brian Shaw coming back to try and win his 5th World's Strongest Man title. Brian Shaw has won his group World's Strongest Man for the last 12 years in a row. But today has been all about the rookie, Mitch Hooper.
And when we say rookie, we mean this is his first international competition, full stop.
I've heard a lot about Mitch. I've seen the training videos, but I like to see things backed up when it counts.
And he backed it up.
Today he came and backed that up. First event, the loading. He wins in his group in a time of 38:31 seconds. That was quicker than Tom Stoltman in group number 1.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
The rookie means business, and he is here to lay the smackdown on these big names.
He's not playing games.
He's not.
But speaking of big names, Brian Shaw came in second.
Brian Shaw with a performance that you'd expect from a great champion. Second place, I think he'll be exceptionally pleased with that on the first event. And then we had Gabe Pena returning to World's Strongest Man. He had a disappointing 2020's World's Strongest Man. Returns with a solid 3rd place in the first event today. Little bit disappointing from Mark Felix in that one. I thought maybe he could do a bit better than 1 point. But Mitch Hooper.
It's a tough group.
Wow.
Yeah.
Incredible first event.
What a start. And things only got more shocking the deeper we went in. So the deadlift for this group. This was the event because you know, everyone has strengths and weaknesses, but all of these guys are proven to be great on deadlift, aren't they?
Well, you saw how excited I got about Mitch Hooper winning the loading event.
Yeah.
Mitch Hooper won the deadlift. Now, I'm sure you've seen some impressive deadlifts from Mitch around, but Mitch also not just won the deadlift, he had the fastest time out of anyone in the deadlift all day across every single group.
It's absolutely incredible. He did 5 in 31.21 seconds. How fast are you going 5? We've heard that the first 4 he didn't use straps and then he used figure of 8s on the final one.
I can't get over. I don't think there's ever been a debutant do so well on their first day at World's Strongest Man. Maximum points for Mitch Hooper.
Not in the recent era, certainly.
But the big shock, not just Mitch doing so well, Brian Shaw placed 5th on the deadlift. Yeah. This is not a great... I mean, Brian is a great deadlifter and you'd expect big points for him on this one.
He suffered a lot of injuries, though.
This was a strange one as well because Konstantin Janasha is normally a very good deadlifter. Only lifted 3. Very poor performance from Janasha. We're not sure if he's picked up an injury. There must be something there because Janasha won the deadlift medley at Europe's Strongest Man just a month ago. Very strange result there. Bobby Thompson, as expected, putting in a big performance. Bobby is a huge deadlifter.
He came second.
He was second. And Gabriel Pena, another 1,000-pound puller, coming in third. The amount of talent in terms of deadlift in this group was incredible.
Yeah. So Mark Felix beat Brian on time, didn't he? He also only did 4, but he did his 4 quicker than Brian. So I'd be really interested to see it and to learn more about it and how it all went down. But
it's going to be an interesting one. But that, you know, Brian Shaw currently in 3rd place, joint 3rd place.
Yeah, in his group.
Gabe Pena in 2nd, and the rookie on maximum points, Mitch Hooper. Wow, he means business.
So group 3, we have Alexei Novikov, obviously the 2020 champion. He did not make the final last year, which was just such a huge disappointment for him. So we know Alexei means serious business at this year's Worlds. And God, didn't he show it on the first event? The loading medley, not only did he win it in his group, but he got the fastest time across all groups.
5 implements in 37.25 seconds. Blistering time by Alexei. We know how quick he is.
Yeah,
we saw him at Europe's Strongest Man, be crowned Europe's Strongest Man. He is a man possessed right now.
Yeah, he is.
Determined to become the world's strongest man once again. But the perfect start for Alexei Novikov. Bish needed a good start in this competition. He knows he's got good events to come, but the loading settles the nerves, and this has put him in a really good position to hopefully progress to the final as the competition comes up. One more impressive performance by another rookie, Mika Toro, the giant from Finland. This guy, a real revelation, a really nice guy as well, coming in 3rd place in that group. And the times in this group were really quick.
Yeah, they were, but none nearly as quick as Alexei. He absolutely smashed it in that group. Now, we know Alexei for being very quick. We know he's statically strong as well, though. He proved that in 2020 when he pulled a world record 18-inch deadlift. But that elevated lift is usually better for him than a standard height deadlift. And obviously the deadlift ladder, we knew that he would be very fast in between implements, but he's up against Adam Bishop, who's an incredible deadlifter. Trey Mitchell, who for reps is one of the best deadlifters in the world. But again, Alexei wins this event.
Yeah, I mean, I think sometimes we forget how good a deadlifter Alexei is.
Yeah.
We've seen him do tremendous performances on reps. He's pulled 1,000 pounds before, and we know how fast he is. Alexei Novikov made sure he was quick in the transitions, coming out in 1st place in a time of 35.64. Very fast. Adam Bishop getting beat on a deadlift. That does not happen very often at World's Strongest Man. Only a couple of seconds behind.
It's only happened once. And again, it was Alexei who beat him in 2020 final.
There we go. Adam's time was 5 bars in 37.44. And then we had Trey Mitchell showing that the static events are really good for Trey. Won the Shaw Classic last year, which was a big international win for Trey. He will want to get to the final as well. I think we're going to see some battles.
That's a tough group.
It is a tough group. I mean, we've still got Mika Toro has good events to come. Rob Kearney will have good events to come as well. Not a great day for Rob.
But the car walk next tomorrow is the first event, and
Rob is amazing when it comes to moving with heavyweight.
I want to see him against Alexei.
Oof, that's an exciting race to look out for. But yeah, currently Alexei Novikov Former champion, having a much better time of it than he did last year at the World's Strongest Man.
The return of the Dragon then into Group 4 this year. And I know so many fans have been looking forward to seeing Martins back at Worlds. Technically the linear champion, because he was never beat, was he? He hasn't competed there since he won in 2019. And again, he has had an incredible start. He won the loading medley in his group. Second place was Maxime Boudreau.
Yeah, Maxime is a great athlete. Was third on the podium in the 2021 competition. But Martins leases as expected. For those that don't follow Strongman in general, Martins has won 2 major competitions since returning to the sport. He won the Rogue Invitational at the end of 2021, and this year, for the first time, he won the Arnold Classic, which is another prestigious competition. He is on a roll, and he wants to make it 3 out of 3. Perfect start for him today, winning the loading event. Maxime coming second, and the talented Ukrainian, Pavlo Kordiaka. Look out for this guy. He is very, very special, coming in 3rd place on the loading event.
Now this is where it gets weird, because again, Martins, who won the first event, also won the second event, which we saw in the first 3 groups. The guy who won the first event also won the second event, but they're not similar events.
No, very different events, but Martins is a very consistent performer, very good across the board. I mean, the one surprise I will say, Nedzmin Ambeskovic in this group.
Yeah.
Nedzmin is a 1,000-pound deadlifter and known as a deadlift specialist. He's had a really poor first day. Not sure what's going on with him then. Very, very unusual results for Nedzmin.
To me, a bigger surprise was Gav Bilton coming second in the deadlift.
I wanted to get to Gav in a second.
Sorry.
I wanted to give Shane a little bit of coverage, because Shane came 3rd on the deadlift here. Shane, really talented up and coming athlete. Very, very good to get 3rd place. But Gav Bilton, this guy has been... He's had a bit of a rough time.
Yeah, he has.
He had some health scares. He was told he was too big. He needed to get fitter, lose weight. He's come in this year prepared. He's had a great first 2 events. He's done all 5 of the deadlifts. That requires huge strength. But the fitness as well has improved. He's lost about 20 kilos. It's clearly paying off in the loading event where he placed 4th, but in a speedy group of very fit, athletes. And now he's currently in 2nd place in his group.
Who would have envisioned it? Looking at that list, those names, Maxime placed 3rd last year. I think we all kind of expect Martins to win that group, but a real battle behind him. And to be honest, Gav is a name we didn't throw into that mix.
No, we didn't. But fair play to Gav. He's put the hard work in. It's only 2 events in. There's still a lot to play for.
Yeah, definitely.
But currently, Martin's list is maximum points. Another guy leading his group with maximum points. And then we have Gav Bilton on 8 points, joint with Maxime Boudreau, also on 8 points. And then 6 points each for Shane Flowers and Pavlo Kordiaka.
And finally, Group 5 then, Lazzy. And there was more drama afoot in this group. Obviously, the big favourites in this group are Luke and Evan, and they went up last. And when we saw the results come through for Evan, I thought I was misreading, because he did all of the implements, but he did it in like 68 seconds, a very slow time. Then we were hearing that Evan dropped 2 implements, and I thought, oh no, maybe he's fumbled because, maybe he's panicking. You say all the time, prone to making mistakes in the first event. But we since found out that he was actually taken off in an ambulance. We're hearing that it's heat stroke. We don't know for certain, but obviously we're gutted for Evan. He has the worst luck at World's Strongest Man.
Evan is one of those athletes that has done exceptionally well in one-day shows. He's won a number of international shows. His luck at World's Strongest Man has been atrocious.
Yeah, horrible.
3 years in a row now, it's not gone how he wants, but we wish Evan the best. We hope he has a speedy recovery. Unfortunately, it's made the group a little weaker. Evan was seen as one of the big seeds, and Luke Stoltman, we should point out, Luke Stoltman did a blistering time on the load, beating his younger brother, Tom, who you'd normally pick to win on a loading event. All 5 implements in 37.95. Anytime under 30, anytime under 40 seconds is ridiculous for this. But very, very quick. Was trying to make a statement, I think, there. We had Kelvin de Ruyter in second, the big Dutch guy. He's
perfectly built for this type of event, isn't
big, he? Long stride, long arms, can get himself around those awkward implements. So a great start by Kelvin. And then we had Aethor. Aethor's a very consistent performer. Finalist last year. Always there or thereabouts. Maybe not the best at any events, but he's pretty steady. And I think with Evan out,
it really opens that group up.
That group is going to be a real battle, I believe, now between a few of them to qualify. I think all things, barring disaster, I think Luke will get through that group now. But could be a real battle between the rest of them.
So then we had the Group 5 deadlift ladder. Tell us what happened, Lossie.
Yeah, the deadlift in this group, looking on paper, probably the weakest group of deadlifters. Kim Lorenzen, the newbie, he is a very good deadlifter, and he just made typical newbie mistakes. He ended up having to do a couple of lifts twice. He actually got to the 5th bar and got within a fraction of lifting it, but because he
didn't wait for the down signal.
He didn't wait for down signals. He ended up having to do, I think it was the second lift twice. It might have been a different one.
Okay.
So he ended up having to do nearly 6 reps.
Oh, that sucks.
Newbie, nerves, mistakes there. He is a fantastic deadlifter. He still managed to do 4 in 56 seconds, which got him 4 points. 3rd place in that event. 2nd place was the Frenchman Jean-Steven Coleboeuf in his first World's Strongest Man. Good to get a 2nd place event in the books. But Luke Stoltman taking the win. Luke could see what he needed to do in this. So Luke, I think when it comes to a deadlift ladder is probably perfect for him. And he knew he needed a fast time on 4, and that's exactly what he went and did. So we have 5 groups. Every single leader of those 5 groups won both events today.
That can't have ever happened before. Surely not.
I certainly don't remember it.
No, surely not. I don't remember this ever happening
before. But yeah, every single leader of each group has won the first 2 events.
4 points. So those are all going to be getting a very good sleep tonight.
Yeah.
So like I said in the beginning, we've got the advantage this year because they're all doing the same events. We could compare how they compare against each other if there were no groups. So if it was all one big group. Now this is, it's just for fun and it's most relevant on the first event. As you get through to the things like the deadlift ladder, if you won the first event and you're going last, by the time it gets to you, you know exactly what you need to do. So
you could be like, I believe someone like Luke in his group was in a position where he knew what he needed to do. So you're no longer in that point of thinking, I've got to go balls out.
Yeah.
The loading, they would have all gone 100%.
Yeah, no one is ever holding back on the first event at worst because you need that start. It gives you the confidence and yeah, it just makes the rest of the competition so much easier. So looking at this then, Alexei Novikov, he was the fastest out of absolutely everyone in the loading, 37.25 seconds. The fastest newbie is Mitch Hooper.
Mitch Hooper just having a blinder of a day, but that is very interesting looking at that. Brian Shaw in 11th place.
Yeah.
Alexei Novikov, Martin Zlissis, Luke Stoltman, Mitch Hooper and Tom Stoltman as your top 5. Kelvin de Ruyter in 6th place. He's proving he's got events he's exceptionally good at as well. It's going to be interesting. I'm quite fascinated by this ability that we have this year to compare across the groups.
Yeah. I mean, and like we said, there are variables and things that come into play, but I think it's still interesting, isn't it?
It is interesting, it's fun, and we will check every event and kind of compare how the overall looks.
Okay, same for the deadlift then. And as you can see, Mitchell Hooper, the rookie, he was the fastest out of absolutely everyone, 5 in 31.21 seconds.
That was an absolutely incredible time.
Really incredible from Alexei as well. Adam Bishop, we know how good he is at deadlift.
Martin Zlissis, that consistency. Again, the interesting one for me, Brian Shaw in 11th place again.
He's in 11th place on both, which I think is weird actually.
Yeah, going to be interesting to see how day 2 goes.
What a first day then, Lozzo.
It has been stressful, it's been exciting.
I feel like it's the 5th day.
It's only day number 1. It's going to be an exciting World's Strongest Man. Guys, we hope you're enjoying it as much as we are. Leave a comment below, let us know who you think is going to win, who's going to get through the groups. Can Brian Shaw come back? Are we impressed by Mitch Hooper? Are we impressed with the consistency of Novikov? Tom Stoltman,
everyone who won an event today.
It's weird. So weird to see every single winner, but can they continue that as we go on? We'll be back tomorrow, guys. Take care.